Okay, just a few things to share today. Um, I posted some stuff out on Slack where I was getting ready to try to run a pure pursuit mission, and I won't go through all of that. I'll just point out that it's all in my uh, repository, but basically this script and this script worked together for me to do a non-moving, just adjust the steering and use Pure Pursuit, the navigation controller logic to do that, which was, really tested a lot of my, I'll call it stack. Um, if I find that, let's see, where is that? Is that here? Nope, it's not there. Must be in here. Put an MD file out there. Um, well, I'm not gonna bore you anymore. In the video I walk through, you know, from getting my correction data all the way down to controlling the motor controller, and somewhere out here in my repository there's a pictorial view of that. If you're interested, you can look at that video
Yeah.
that I posted on Slack. So then this morning I tried to get out there before it got hot to run a mission. The mission didn't work. And the next blocking issue for me is um, to get my speed under control so that I can feed that into the mission file. And so I had a mission plan to just to run a straight line, and I drove the tractor to that, put it in auto, and nothing happened. And my conclusion, the reason nothing happened is my transmission control through pure pursuit wasn't working effectively. So this, I decided just to capture some data with varying speed to go back and revisit my speed controller. And so this is the speed that I was capturing while I was doing these loops, um, which is good. It basically, I need to reconfigure my linear actuator to better control the speed to give me stair-step speeds between this, say, zero point 0.5 meters a second and 1.4 meters a second, which is really, quite honestly, the fastest I would want this thing
Yeah.
to run. So I think I've demonstrated to myself I've got speed control, but I don't have it tuned um, to use to use that language. So that's that's where I'm at the moment, and I'm hoping to get back out there, figure this out, and get back out there and resolve my speed control. Looks like I have a guest that wants to ask me
Yeah.
something.
So pretty much, my time card was accepted late, and Uncle Jason is offering to do this or just to put it on my next paycheck.
Put it on your next
Okay.
one. Questions about any of that?
Um, on your video, you showed a flow chart.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how that got generated.
Claude generated that for me. I mean, I gave it some parameters and
Oh, okay.
sort of explained to it what I wanted, and then it it generated that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in my Obsidian vault. That's where it is. That'll render in GitHub. So if I go to GitHub, I think I put that at the very top layer. Yeah, see this, it's this MD file
Okay.
here. And I was at the end of a long conversation, and I just asked it to summarize these steps. And I had I had roughly described these steps to it, and then I said, give me a mermaid file or mermaid diagram to go along with these steps.
It's called a Mermaid file.
Um, a mermaid is another piece of software. Yes, the diagram itself is, if you tell ChatGPT to make you a mermaid diagram, it will.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to do that for the problems I've been having. So,
So this is my sort of all of the components in my navigation stack, and where I'm right now trying to get this controller to work. That's my
okay.
um, so all these other things are things that are largely, I think, tested and working. So this goes all the way down to, you know, my motor controller that controls the front wheels and my motor controller that controls the transmission.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, that's a nice lead, that Mermaid file. I think I'll try that on what I've been going through with the last couple of days.
Your other option too is to copy this file or download this file and say, hey, here's an example. Make me something like this.
Oh, okay.
Um, you just come up here to the download button, and it'll put it on your computer.
Okay. We'll do that. Copy the file. Sounds good.
It helped me find this where I had put that. I'm like, part of the problem is just remembering where everything is.
Yeah.
So what's going on in your world?
Um, a lot of frustration, but I'm making progress.
You had the assistant saying you have a well documented technical flow or something. I forget the exact
Well,
language it used.
it's crazy. Um, at let's see, I'll go over to the chat, and I said, "What in the heck is going on?" And um, why did it drift? And my instructions been clear all along. And what happened when we run into a problem, then it wants to develop a um, how to make it work, or how to create a document. So let's see, where is it? So it took each. Oh, come on. Why it drifted? I had a simple goal and knew that all along, but it said that's where the problems were, stage two, And then stage 3, more obstacles came up. And we spent most of the time with stage 4, documentation, governance, on and on and on. And why didn't it stop it sooner? Um, each individual's step was technically correct, but it didn't recognize the overall pattern. And how to prevent it? Um, does this affect? Does this actually help build? And another rule: would I still build? And they said yes. What it'll do differently is this stuff. Does it make it a better robot? And the new chat established whoop, 3 things. Keep on repeating what the goal is, find the current verified state and development rules. And it gave me a bunch of things to say when I start a new chat.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah. So then I started the new chat over here, and that is called the remote drive. So we're getting basic back to build a robot. Don't worry about documentation or creating another set of documentation. One thing I noticed that before I was making it seemed like hundreds of commits to try and lock in whatever that stage was.
That's a lot of commits.
Yeah, it was. And then finally it said instead of doing that, the baseline's pretty much set. So I don't have to do that anymore. And I should switch over to using something called set points. So each time I fix something or there's a problem, I do a set point. So that doesn't go on into GitHub. It just gives me a known good starting point to go back to.
And you're using set point in what platform? How are
As
you doing a set point?
to go through as I verify and repair or repair something and then
Now, if you're not taking a
verify
set point
it.
in GitHub, what software tool are you taking a set point
I'm
in?
still in this chat assessment or this chat.
You're telling ChatGPT to take a set point.
Yeah, I keep asking it whether I should do it or not. And it tells me what the errors were. We fix it, you do a set point thing, go next to the next problem and try and fix that. And I said, well, why did it start looping? Because I've been back to this same problem at least 2 or 3 times now. And the problem was never the user interface. It was said we should do this. Whoops. Recommended don't do this stuff. Those are all areas that are working. And we should go into this, which is negotiating the debug. It's not a repair. Um, the improvements worked because we didn't lose anything. Whereas before, up to this point, without the set points, it was changing multiple things at the same time and creating errors. So I went around and around. And let's see now. Oops. My mouse isn't very.
For what it's worth, I'll tell you, I rarely work on multiple scripts at a time.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to work on the pure pursuit controller Python script now, or
Yeah.
I'm going to work on my Teensy firmware eh, because, well, that's just me, I guess. I can't imagine trying to work on multiple programs and trying to
Yeah.
keep them all version controlled because you physically can't update them all in the same time if they're on different platforms. I mean,
Yeah. The minute I stopped, realized that was the problem, then we changed over to set points and took one step at a time. And it finally got to the point that the problem is in handling whether you're connected or not to the user interface. So everything else is locked in place, and now we just, um,
the user interface as in the screen on the left here.
yeah, that's working now, or it's displaying, but I'm not getting video. And the problem is with the handlers, and I didn't have a trace back for some reason to what the problems were. So we finally put one in. It was a simple um, print statement of what was going on. And then I ran into a problem where it would tell me to fix something in a certain portion of the code and I'd fix it, but I wouldn't verify it in the past. I just did it. Well, now every time it says change this line to this or whatever, then I copy it and ask, is this correct? And the directions to make the correction are sometimes ambiguous. It says do it after line such and such. So I did it, and it was just a problem. So now when I do insert a line or whatever, I always copy it and say, is this correct? And a couple of times it says it is not. It should be, I should have a space here, or that line should have been higher up. And finally got back to saying, okay, list the program by the line numbers. And then it said at line such and such to line such and such, replace it with this exact copy. And finally, that's working and not so frustrating. Um, so now I'm at the point, do we continue debugging or freeze the state and create a clean restart plan? And I haven't thought about that. That was just up about half hour ago. So given that I can't go outside do anything, I guess I'll muck around at this point.
Burn through some tokens.
Yeah. So I think that's all there is to that.
I'm trying to find um, do you mind if I share?
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah, I have struggled mightily on sometimes, you know, if there's a simple program change I'll just have, you know, Claude describe the change and I'll make it. Uh, this is an example sometimes though when it can give you um, the replacement code, and this is a Linux command, by the way. This is basically saying cat what I'm about to give you until you get to EOF, which is down here. And so it physically is putting this code into a program. And so it's as simple as copying that and then running that in the terminal.
Okay.
So if you or the most, I'm going to call it expensive way, the way to use the most tokens is to say, give me a drop-in replacement for the
Yeah.
whole program.
Yeah.
Or I've said, give me a drop-in replacement for a function within a program that, that's a cut and paste.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking for another example. Uh, uh, let's see if there's one in here. Because I like you have trouble sometimes implementing the suggestions that it makes.
Hmm.
The other thing I was just going to share quickly is in my testing folder, specifically for WebRTC, you can see step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
I, I literally just tried to get the basics working. And when I did, then I would say, okay, then let's go to the next step. And I would start another program because I found that I would get so far that it would sort of blow up.
Yep.
And I needed to get back to something that worked. And for me, what seemed to work is, you know, like this happened to be, I just wanted to display the video from the camera on a web page, and then I built up over time to the other steps. That's just the way that I broke it down.
So again, divide and conquer.
You know, if I have a terrible memory, I'm a terrible coder, and that's just the way it worked. It works for me is
Yeah.
break it down, compartmentalize it, get it to work, go back to it, because then I'll forget it, and
Yeah. I'm
and
in the
uh,
same boat.
and
And I don't have very much, I don't have any coding experience. It's give me a hammer and saw and I know what to do.
yeah, so it's just that was just the path that I ran in order to try to save my sanity.
I'm going to go back and look at that after maybe this afternoon, but we're coming up on your half hour thing.
Well, and again, you can just, if you're curious about um, what these do, you literally, I think, could. Uh, I'm my Zoom. You could go to this URL.
Yep.
Well, let's see if it'll work. Uh,
Oh, and then you just paste it.
I don't know if this works or not. You can certainly feed it one script at a time.
Yeah. That's nice. That saves a lot of neurons.
Yeah, now it's going to tell me that it's all wrong.
Yeah. I like that concept.
Anyway, so that's an option for you too if you want an example. But if you share your screen again, the arrows at the bottom, I sort of like that design.
Okay. Oh.
So what do you want to get done while there's smoke in the air?
Stay inside and keep my lungs intact.
So is video working, or do you have web
No,
control again of your
no, not
pan
yet.
tilt? So what was
Uh,
working in the past, you've lost.
yes, and I can't remember what happened to it. I might go back and see if it. I know I put a lot of code into Git edit, so maybe some of that earlier work that was successful is over in there. So I'm gonna go over and look at that.
Um, well, um, I can't share this chat yet. When this comes back, I'll post this chat. It's just an example of me trying to use WebRTC
Okay.
to do basically the same thing. I didn't have
Yeah.
a pan tilt on my camera, but I had um, a steering motor and a transmission actuator that I was trying to work with.
Okay.
So at at some level, I was trying to accomplish the same thing that you are.
Hmm.
Anything else for recording?
No, that's about it.